What is up? It's episode 14 on the Orlando Show podcast. I got someone here who would murder the fuck out of me. Give me your name, brother.
Ciaran Saunders.
Hell yeah. One of the reasons we're doing this podcast is Ciaran has his pro MMA debut at Kezar Stadium on May 24th. So tell the people about that, brother. You excited?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's a long time coming. You know, I haven't been very active in the past few years. Like, we'll get into that with, like, you know, having kid and, you know, work and stuff, injuries. So I started fighting. I had my first amateur fight when I was like 21.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, had two fights 2020, whenever it was, 2021. Right. When I was 21. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Got set back for like 2 years. Had my third amateur fight. And then I had another fight that year. And then my last amateur fight was 2023, so like a little while ago.
I think that was the one I was at, right? Was that the one at Kezar?
Yes. So the one that I was at Kezar. All my fights have been at Kezar.
Hell yeah! Shout out Kezar Pavilion.
Shout out Kezar.
Yeah. Shout out the man.
So I won my belt. That was my last fight.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to defend. They got injured.
Yeah, and fight stuff, fight game shit.
Amateur,
at
amateur is just like whatever. But now as a pro, you know, it's going to be a different ball game. There's a bit of money involved.
There you
go. You know, if opponent changes, you know, I'll be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, you just take it
amateur,
in stride.
it's like, I'm not prepared for this guy, you know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so you prepare more specifically.
I'm more specific kind of guy.
Whereas as a pro fight, you're just getting yourself 100% ready to go.
Doesn't matter who it is.
All the weapons sharpened, ready to go.
Exactly. Doesn't matter who it is.
Right. Okay, so I'll just get into your origin a little bit, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So what was the moment where you knew you wanted to be a fighter in your life? Did you grow up wanting to fight?
Yeah,
like, how did that work?
That's a good question. So when when I came from Ireland, so I was born here in America.
Okay.
Me, my two other brothers, and then when we were like young, I think I was like 3 years old, we moved to Ireland. We were raised in Ireland.
Oh, okay, interesting.
We were raised in Ireland for 11 years or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I started when I was 6. I started with it was called Taekwondo, but it was more like Kempo. Like Kempo karate,
so
kind of like Wonderboy Johnson type shit.
like applicable karate for kind of defending yourself.
Yeah, it's like not just like kicks, it's like punches and kicks, you know?
Right.
So I got into that, did that for a few years.
Okay.
And then obviously, you know, you're a kid, you want to do other sports and this and that. So I kind of stopped training like karate or whatever you want to call it. And then when I moved to America, I got into boxing.
Okay, of course. Yeah,
I got into a bit of boxing, and then high school I wrestled for a little bit.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Started doing jiu-jitsu in high school, junior year.
Right.
Haven't stopped since then.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So you're a black belt,
right?
Yeah,
I just got my black belt a few years ago.
First of all, how's that feeling getting your black belt?
It's a big accomplishment.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I've been training for 10 years, about 10 years. So,
to get that done.
But you know, after a while, I just like to train. You know, I just like to train. I don't mind the belt. Just like Hoist Gracie said, a belt just covers 2 inches of your ass. You've got to cover the rest. Or
I love that.
A belt just holds up your pants, so it doesn't matter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you know when you started jiu-jitsu you wanted to get to a black belt level, or did you start almost as just learning the sport, or did you have that drive when you started?
You know, I started jiu-jitsu because my friend got my he's a bit older than me now. He got me into it. So when I was wrestling in high school, and then I wasn't like not committed, but I had wrestling like every day. I do off season and I do season.
Yeah, okay.
And then I had a friend that was doing jiu-jitsu at the time, and he took me to like a class, and fucking, you know, this is sick, you know. I liked it.
It's awesome.
But I couldn't do it at the time because I was wrestling, and then
kept it in the back of your head.
I was like, I'll do this. I'm definitely going to do this eventually. Then I got kicked off the wrestling team because I was a little hothead, and I got into an argument with the coach.
You started throwing hands,
low-key.
Spinning back kick to the coach.
Exactly. Like I was doing like kind of MMA moves. Like I was doing MMA moves and jiu-jitsu shit in wrestling before I even started. I just kind of look at videos and like, I could do that, you know.
Yeah, okay,
I'd try
that's
that.
cool.
But one thing led to another. Junior year, I got kicked off the team, and I went to jiu-jitsu, and I've been there ever since.
That's awesome, man. That's cool to hear that, like, getting kicked off the team, you still had something else that's going to keep your mind sharp. And, like, so, like, when you were starting training, would you have, like, anxiety before, like, hard training sessions or hard sparring sessions?
Not really. The only time I would kind of get like anxious about sparring would be when I'm boxing.
Oh, interesting.
Boxing, like, because I knew how to throw a punch and defend.
Yeah, of
but
course.
the level of boxers at the time I was sparring were just like, they're fucking really good. Like, you know, they're like top of the class. Like, they're ranked in the country at the time. Like,
oh wow,
you know, I remember this one kid, Steve Johnson, short guy like myself, southpaw. And he was like, I think he was like ranked number 3 in the country at the time.
And you're sparring him?
I'm sparring him, and I'm just like, and he was like 16 at the time, so I'm like 20 years old or something. And this little 16-year-old kid is just beating the fuck out of me. I'm like, holy shit, this kid's 16 and he's just laying into me like he just beat the shit out of me. And then there's another guy, he just recently became pro. His name's Dante Kirkman, I think his last name is. I could be fucking his name up, but he's like 4-0 as a pro. He's actually fighting the same day as me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Up in Sacramento, I think.
Okay.
So he was, I remember him when he was a little kid, and we would spar, and he would fucking do the same thing to me. And like, it's just, you know what I mean? I'm just like, boxing, it's just different, like, kettle of fish, different ball game. Like, you think you know how to throw a punch and like move well, but once you get in there with a boxer, it's like a sweet science. Like, it's like, shit, now what did I get myself into?
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard Illia talk about, like, he does everything kind of separately. Like, he does like wrestling practice and boxing. Like, would you say
that's what I would do for like, so for example, like, my schedule for camp or whatever you want to call it, it's all it changes every week. It changes how I feel, you know. For example, so today, Fridays for me is sparring. So today I'll go over to Hayward Bay Fight Academy. Yeah. And we'll
shout out the boys. Bunch of killers.
We'll do usually before I turned pro, we would do 10 3-minute rounds. So we do our first 5 threes would be would be kickboxing, Muay Thai, and then our last 5 would be like MMA. We take the small
little
gloves,
takedowns. Okay.
But now that we're focusing on my fight for pro, I'm just like, all right, we're gonna do 5 5s, and you know, everything goes. You know, MMA,
for sure,
whatever you want to do. So yeah, just there I would do my MMA. For example, okay, Monday I'm gonna go condition again at Hayward. Tuesday I'm gonna go do boxing, and like maybe like the next day wrestling, whatever. It changes every day, but for the most part, like, I kind of have a little. I know Friday I'm sparring. Thursday I'm like grappling.
Do you wake up that morning of sparring like, let's fucking do this? Like, is it a mindset thing of like, I'm fighting today, or is every day kind of the same in your mindset?
It's just like taking it day by day, to be honest. You know, like, there is days like I will be like focused on like okay, I have techniques that I want to do in sparring.
Work on,
you know, not just going there and throw hands, throw whatever. Just like having like a route, have like a pattern of things, you know, like, okay, I want to throw these combinations this sparring session. I want to try and get this counter in this sparring session. So like sharpening my tools, shit that I'm already good at and I've been practicing for months and months and months, just keeping that sharp. No new stuff. Like, for example, on my phone, in my saved thing on Instagram, I have like just dozens and dozens of techniques. Takedowns, striking patterns.
Little patterns.
Like, like I'll look at it before I go in the sparring, be like, okay, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. Okay. Or I'll just keep the stuff that I know that are like ingrained in me and just, you know, there it goes. I'll practice that, or I'll throw that.
Hit him with that shit.
Hit him exactly. Like, fuck him up with that shit, you know.
That works.
Exactly. The shit that I know that works, that's what I'm pretty much focusing on in camp.
Okay. Yeah. That's very interesting, because I played football in college, and like, it's the same kind of thing where we had like live goes where we would have the offense versus the defense full live, and you figure out kind of what works. And you only really figure out what works when bullets are flying.
Exactly.
When there's the risk of getting injured or getting knocked out is when you figure out kind of how to fight, or in football how to play hard. So I know you're a father and you're going to have another kid fairly recently. So how did the mindset change of being a fighter when you like have a kid behind you? Because I've heard a ton of fighters talk about that, how like it almost gets more serious when you have a kid, because now I'm doing this. Like, what are your opinions on that?
Like, there's two school of thought. Like, one is like, oh, I'm going to be like, you're not going to take the fucking bread out of my kids.
Money out of my pocket.
I want to win now even more hard. No, I always want to win. I don't want to fucking lose. I you know, I always want to win. So that doesn't change me. What will probably change is like on the night, like when I'm in the back warming up, and I'm like, all right, now it's like game on. Like we're going into the Coliseum. It's
you're kill
or be killed. And I have a very like I'm a cool dude. You know, I'm chill, hanging out with friends. You know, at training, when I'm training, sparring, you know, it's, you know, focus. After sparring or like a little bit before, we can chill and talk for a bit. But when it's sparring time, like we're focusing. And then like when I get into like fight day and I'm in the back like warming up, there's like, you gotta find that peak. You know, you don't want to fucking peak right away. It's like a roller coaster. Like, you know, chill for a little bit. Okay, now, you know,
hit some pads or something in the back. Get yourself ready.
It's like 10 to 15, maybe 10 to 5 minutes before I walk is like when I'm like talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
Like you can see me, like I'm
demeanor's changing.
The switch has flipped once those 10 to 15 minutes come. Like, you know, you just find that, okay, now it's game time.
It's like gladiator time, where it's like, I'm walking into this cage in my underwear and some gloves.
You know that you know that like fucking thing that speech that Mike Tyson does. You know, like 5 minutes before I get in the ring, I'm terrified, I'm this and that.
Yes.
It's similar to that, you know. Once I'm in the cage, like I'm fucking staring you down, you know. I'm gonna walk in there, crawl in there, whatever I do, I'm gonna look at you, and it's just, let's get it on.
Ready to go. Man, that's interesting. Yeah. Fuck, because like I know that from sports, like team sports, but man, that's a whole different ball game walking into that cage. Yeah. Do you remember your first amateur fight? What you felt walking into the cage?
I felt confident. Like, I'm always confident.
Okay.
You know, one thing that, like, kind of gets me a little bit is, like, further out from the fight, I'm like, oh, shit, I just signed for a fight. I'm going to be thinking about this guy, and he's probably going to be thinking for, like, 6-8 weeks. And then as I get closer to the fight, I get more confident just of how the training's going. Like,
there you go.
You know, I'm fit now. Like, I know I can do the rounds.
Yeah. No stone unturned kind of a thing.
No stone unturned. Like, every stone, you know what I mean? But
no turn unstoned.
2 birds stoned at once.
Exactly. Get 2 birds stoned. Yeah, fuck
But fucking, no, it's just, I mean, just, no, like I said, fucking just being confident. I'm always confident. There's obviously nerves there, but once I'm in the cage, like, I like to perform. I'm a good performer.
Yeah,
the crowd doesn't really get to me a whole lot, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you kind of tune it out once you're in the middle of a fist fight. You don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean, your coaches,
you can I can hear some things, not much because it's so fucking loud there. When my crowd comes, you know. But
I was a part of it. I was a part of the Kezar crowd, dude. I was in a Jeff cap, just fucking hammered. Let's go! Like, I'm gonna be that on the fight. Dude. I'm gonna be fucking ready to go. But so we'll get into some UFC stuff if that's cool with you. So I would say, who's your favorite fighter all time, you think?
All time favorite fighter, like, that's tough. Like, you know, everyone has, like, right now. So for example, I like fighters that, like, are my size, you know. Of course. So, and people that I could, like, probably, you know,
like emulate a little bit.
Exactly. So my favorite fighter at the moment is Piotr Jan.
Oh, I love that. Piotr's a fucking dog.
And for a while, so like
he's like a hitman, dude. He's a secret agent out there. When he kicked Uriah Faber in the teeth with a fucking dude, oh my god, he's a brutal.
Yeah, he's just a different breed. He's mean. He's good everywhere, and that's
always a good gas tank.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like him so much. But I like him. Before him, I was like, oh, I really want to fight like T.J. Dillashaw.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I take shit from everybody.
Yeah.
Fight. Like, oh, I like how he does that. I'm gonna pull that. Keep putting it in my bank.
Of course, yeah.
Pull that from him. Pull that from him. So Piotr would definitely be my favorite fighter. Like, to study, practice
for everything. Right? Yeah.
I think like who I really liked when I first started knowing what the UFC was obviously Chuck Liddell.
Oh,
like,
Chuck was the dude. I loved Chuck as a little kid,
when
bro.
I was
oh my god,
little kid, and the first UFC games came out, I was like, I'm Chuck Liddell. Like that's my guy.
Dude, the mohawk and the tattoos on the side of the head is the most badass shit.
Exactly.
You know, I was thinking the UFC missed the boat on, dude, was selling his shorts.
Oh yeah.
Like, they didn't sell those back then. I would have bought that in a fucking second as a kid, bro. The Iceman shorts, dude.
Fucking sick, dude.
So, who would be? I guess it's top 4. Who would be your Mount Rushmore of MMA in your opinion?
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I everyone like leaves. I would like Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah,
you have to put,
Mighty Mouse.
You have to put him up there. Obviously, like everyone says, oh, he's smaller and this, but like Joe Rogan says it. As a martial artist, who you want to be, like he does everything right, is him. He's 5'3" and 125 pounds, but like, and obviously like everyone says, the level of fighters he was just like here and they were down here. You know what I mean?
Well, he fucking, what was it, Ray Borg? He suplexed him into an armbar. I
was trying to do that yesterday.
You could probably do that to me.
I was trying to do it yesterday. It was fucking hard, but so. Mount Rushmore.
Your top four, I guess. So, or most influential, you could go best. There's any way you
so
can
I would
take
obviously fucking DJ.
DJ.
George St. Pierre. And who else? Obviously the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the world. John Jones, obviously.
Dude, one man comes out of that room, dude.
It's John Jones.
It's crazy, too, because I've watched John since I was a little kid. Yeah. And he's just the Neo of fucking fighting. Yeah, yeah. And like we'll get into Aspinall versus him. We'll talk about that matchup a little bit, but like he's just unstoppable. I've never even like it's crazy, and you're a fighter. He didn't train for the first Gustafsson fight. He was just doing coke and doing whatever he was up to. And gutted out a 5-round war. Yeah. Like no one else is going to do anything. It just shows what
like that never mind John, but the family, like they're all football NFL players.
Yeah,
he's the best fighter ever. It's just like the athleticism, or he's just a freak athlete.
Yeah, I always tell people too that his older brother Arthur Jones won a Super Bowl on the Ravens against the Niners. Yeah. So that's a Super Bowl winning defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And then his other brother Chandler had like 20 sacks in football. Yeah. D-end. So those are two all-world football players, and those are his older brothers beating his ass every day as a kid. Yeah. Like I felt bad for the drywall in his house. Like, they were beating the fuck out of each other, man. Like how are you going to beat a guy who has those people in his corner? You know what I mean?
Yeah, freaks.
Yeah, and then I would say my Mount Rushmore is like definitely John, GSP, DJ, and then the last one I either kind of mix between Anderson Silva and Fedor, because Fedor brought the early pride, like Japanese and Russian fans to MMA. And I never got Brock versus Fedor, bro. When I was like 11, I was like, that's the fight that needs to fucking happen. Like, I think I even sent Dana White an email when I was like 12. I was like, Nick Diaz versus GSP2, motherfucker. Like, come on, fuck that. So, like, dude, I don't know. It's been one of my favorite sports my whole life. Mm-hmm. And then, so I would say, who's the fighter right now that you're looking at? I guess an up-and-coming fighter that you're like, holy fuck, that dude's a bad motherfucker.
Who is? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I would have said like Illia, but obviously Illia's a champ.
He's there now. I'm thinking. I'm always thinking like 135.
Yeah.
Like
What'd you think about fucking what's his name? The black dude that has the like. Peyton Talbot. What'd you think of Peyton Talbot getting kind of wrestle fucked a little bit? It happens.
It happens. Yeah. I remember watching one of his fights, and he kind of was. Getting fucking wrestle fucked, but I think he'll be back.
He's young. He'll be fine. That's a good learning lesson.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like get in the gym and just kind of just work takedowns. I guess your whole next camp. Yeah. I don't even know how you.
Yeah, I have no idea. Right? But coming up, who's that dude that fucking trains with Sean O'Malley?
Tommy Gunn.
The other dude, not him. He's the black dude with the dreads.
Something McGee.
Yes, him.
Court
something like McGee. That. Yeah, something McGee.
He's bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he was supposed. I was just like listening to Tim Welch's podcast. Like he's supposed to fight Piotr Yan.
That's a crazy matchup. Yeah. Holy shit, that's a big step up for him too. Yeah,
but I think like they're talking about like Piotr Yan and Corey fighting, so which would be cool.
Dude, Sandhagen's a dog.
Sandhagen's sick as well.
He's turned into one of my favorite fighters. He's and then he's good everywhere too. Like I feel like in modern MMA, and you can attest to this too, that like gone are the days of like I'm just a boxer. I'm just a kickboxer. Like you have, like you said, like you have to be a black belt. You have to work your boxing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the more well-rounded you are, the farther you'll go in MMA today. Not like how good one skill is. Like that was back in the day, right? But I feel like today you have to
be good everywhere. Because if you're fucking like you can't take the guy down, or
he takes you down consistently, man.
Fuck. You gotta fucking learn to adapt.
I felt that in a few of my jiu-jitsu classes I took, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Like, one of the worst places to be in the world is on bottom in full guard.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Just
like, the world's
gassed.
on your chest,
Yeah.
bro, and you're like, how the fuck do I get up? If this guy was throwing elbows at me, I would die.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's so much different when fucking elbows and punches are involved.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a different ball game.
I know you're an Irishman,
Yeah.
so I got to ask, what's the opinion on Conor?
I
know the thing is Ireland, I guess, hates him.
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Mostly, I'd say a lot of people dislike him at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
you met him, right?
I've met him a long time ago. I met him.
Right.
I think it was 2016 or something.
So I was right in like the height
yeah,
of fucking
he
Conor,
was.
pretty
He was
much.
like. It was after he beat Brandao.
Okay, yeah,
So,
Diego Brandao.
Yeah, and he was driving like an Acura, like.
Oh no
fucking,
way! So he was still in the grind.
Yeah, he wasn't like fucking millionaire, like multi-millionaire yachts and fucking jets.
Yeah,
like I remember my friends telling us, "Oh, Conor's over here. Let's go meet him." So we waited outside his car, waiting for him. We
Oh
just
wow!
Walked up and we took a picture with him.
That's super cool.
And he was cool, yeah, like cool at the time, but. He's obviously like when you get to that level of stardom and like that much money, everybody's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. No one gets out alive.
Yeah, like
everyone's
very
a little
few
insane.
people get out like somewhat not crazy. Like Mike Tyson, nut.
Yeah.
I would say like Floyd Mayweather's done some stupid shit in his past.
Oh,
Same
yeah.
with Nate Diaz. You know, Nate Diaz is like slapping some fucking person every other week.
Some random dude,
Yeah.
choking people out on Bourbon Street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every other week he's
Dude,
doing
fuck.
something, and you know, that's pretty much it. Like everyone at that level, you know, you kind of like
You get
lose
crazy,
your mind.
yeah.
Like he said, once I lose my mind, I'll be
who
happy,
knows?
You know, whatever.
But what do you think they should do with him next?
Dude,
What do
I
you,
just
do you
want
think
him-
there's a fight for him?
I don't even know if Chandler's a fight for him anymore, dude.
I mean, with that loss,
Yeah,
it still makes the
it's-
fight
yeah,
there.
it's
It
like-
can still be
could
done.
happen for damn sure, but like, I just want to see him fight.
I do too.
I just want to see him
One more time.
What would be cool is like if he came back, like I think they said he has like 2 more fights. If he came back, you know what I mean, fought Chandler and then like Nate Diaz 3.
That's what I was
the
saying.
Diaz fight has to happen whether it's MMA or boxing.
I was thinking, all right. So I was thinking you do Conor Nate 3, you throw Nate $2 to $5 million, you throw Conor 10 to 20. He's probably gonna want a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it's the only winnable fight for either of them.
Yeah.
I think if you give Conor any current welterweight, they're gonna fucking murder him.
Yeah, I don't
just
think
don't.
there's many.
They're in skin in the game. You know, Conor's not in the pool.
He's not. Yeah.
Same with Nate. I don't think if Nate. I don't know what you do with Nate if he comes back to the UFC. Who are you going to put him against? But I think that's the fight that does need to happen.
Before they retire, they put up the
Yeah.
gloves. They will fight, I would imagine.
I would hope so, man.
Yeah, I hope so.
Who do you think Conor won the second fight with Nate? Because I know it went to a decision. It was back and forth.
Yeah, dude, like the thing is, like, yeah, it was close, whatever.
Yeah.
But they go off damage. Conor damaged the fuck out of him.
Yeah, Nate's bleeding as always.
Yeah.
Nate's fucking.
You have to
leaking.
obviously take that into account. Like they're gonna get cut no matter what time, who they fight.
Yeah.
But also Conor like dropped him like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Like first round, second round, whatever it was. So those are big scoring techniques. Like you drop the guy multiple
That's a
times.
huge, yeah.
You win that round easily. You know, that's
Yeah,
what I
true.
think.
Mm.
So you just gotta look at that shit, like dropping the guy. You know, obviously damage. But no, it's I don't know. You know, I think Conor won it, not handily, but I
got the
he got the
dub,
dub. Yeah.
What do you? I guess we'll get into the predictions and fuck it. We'll start with tomorrow's matchup. What do you think about Belal JDM? What do you see going down there? This is super cool, by the way, with a fighter. I like asking these questions because I feel like a dumbass sometimes. Being like, I know what's gonna happen. You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
it, but
I do cardio kickboxing. I know.
I think JDM. I really like his boxing.
Yeah.
But he's had some tough fights.
Yeah,
I can't remember that like Muslim guy that he fought a while back. Like he was just getting taken down.
Yeah.
Even
Gilbert Burns got some takedowns on him.
Burns
Gil's
was like,
a beast.
I think if that had gone the decision, Gilbert would have got it.
Yeah.
But it just like JDM just kind of finds a way to win. You know. He caught him with a flush knee, finished him off with punches, elbows.
And his arm was broken.
Oh, really?
His left forearm was broken in the
shit.
second.
I didn't know
Which
that.
his coaches were like, he's a fucking badass.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know-
his
I
shit
didn't
was,
know that.
Separated. One of the bones was separated.
I just think, Belal is just going to do the same thing he did to Edwards, is just put the pressure on him, get in his
get him
face,
against the fence,
take him down. Because JDM just gets taken down a lot. But I think in my opinion. No, I was gonna say I would like JDM to win, but I want to see fucking Illia versus
Islam.
You heard
about that?
So
the influence on the fight.
I think either way, I think Belal has the skills to get the dub. Probably decision.
What do you think about to me? Merab and Belal are kind of the same fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like champions that kind of go for wins but aren't as exciting?
That's a good question. Everyone wants to see exciting fights.
Exactly.
They always say
slobber knockers. UFC 300, Nate or fucking Max Holloway and Gaethje.
Yeah. Just people love knockouts. Jesus loved knockouts. Whatever.
Jesus knocked out the devil with a fucking uppercut. Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's that. You have to put on exciting fights, but then as a champion, you have to win. You just gotta win.
Totally.
You gotta learn how to win. Maybe they're not the most exciting, but they're winning and they're showing how skilled they are as fighters. But I like Merab. He's starting to kind of get a personality about him. He's kind of funny.
He is pretty funny.
He is pretty fucking funny.
I do. Yep. All right, man. So we'll get into some fight predictions here. What do you see with Khamzat versus DDP? Dricus Duplessis and Khamzat. That's a great matchup.
Yeah, that's a good matchup. DDP's so big and awkward. He's so big, like I said, so big and awkward, and he just knows how to fucking win again. His gas tank's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard it a few times. If Khamzat can fucking get it done early, within the first round or two, I think it's gonna favor whatever his name. What's his name again?
Dricus.
Yeah,
Dricus Duplessis.
DDP. Yeah, Dricus. So that's how I think. It's either gonna go early, or it's gonna go late. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Khamzat is like a freight train.
Yeah.
If you can't get out of the way of his takedowns or his he's just gonna put you in a chokehold and just a game over.
Yeah, what he did to fucking Robert Whittaker is crazy. I saw him tap. People were like, he's already tapping. I'm like, he must have some.
He caved in his teeth. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I would not like that to happen. He must have some fucking squeeze, dude.
He must be like a superhero, bro. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
The squeeze of that man was kind of scary.
And then what do you see Islam versus Topuria?
Ooh, that's the matchup. One that everyone wants to see. I like it. I think everyone says, Islam's just gonna take him down. Yeah. But Illia can grapple, and he's shorter. I feel like Islam has trouble with smaller guys, shorter fighters. You saw how obviously the knockout of the second Volk fight, whatever, that was on 10 days' notice.
Yeah,
you saw how well he did in the first fight, and I think Volk is so good at what he does, but he doesn't have the hands. He doesn't have the power and the technique and the skill with the hands. If he catches you, it's oh fuck, he'll hurt you, but it's not oh fuck, if Illia lands on you, if Illia lands on you 9 times out of 10 he's putting you to sleep, or he's hurting you and he's gonna put you away right at what happened with Max.
Yeah, quite literally. Max got hit a few times and was in the fucking deer in headlights. Felt that power.
The power and the accuracy, the weight he puts behind his punches is just something else. That's why I love his boxing. He's one of my other favorite fighters to watch. It's just strictly about his boxing, how he moves and just puts the punches together. And just the power he has.
Yeah, he's crazy. That's gonna be that might be an all-time fight. I hope they make that happen. I think that's the fight that needs to happen. And then we'll end on this one. Fucking. Who you got, Bones or the big fucking Englishman, man?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a crazy fight, man.
I don't know, I think Aspinall is obviously the most dangerous fight for John.
Yeah.
But John is just John, and he knows how to win. He's so skilled. His IQ is the best ever.
Yeah.
And obviously he's getting older, but look at who he's beaten.
Yeah, literally.
He's beaten 3 generations of light heavyweight division.
Yeah, that's he's cleaned out the division 3 different times.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
So they're gonna have to throw the fucking cash at him if he wants to fight Aspinall. If they want him to fight Aspinall.
Yeah, for real.
But then like Aspinall, could hurt. He's quick. He's fast. He's strong. He's big. But he's not gone the. He hasn't seen a third round.
He's had no opposition.
Exactly.
And I think that's John smelling blood in the water.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you haven't been taken far. You've never been cut. Yeah. Like, he doesn't have a broken nose, you know what I mean? And John kind of is a psychopath in that he plays that, like, all right, I'm going to cut you and see how you react.
Exactly.
So that's why I think, and also, again, like, I've been a fan of John since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
The question has always been, what does it look like if there's a guy John's size with efficient grappling? Because as heavyweights, that's fucking rare to have a guy that really can mix up high-level jiu-jitsu and crazy boxing.
Yeah.
And I feel like Aspinall is almost built for that exact question.
Yeah, that's true.
Why it's such a highly sought-after fight, I feel like.
It's a good, that's a good question, a good point. I think John's wrestling is just like, if he gets you down, he's going to open you up no matter what. Aspinall, he's so big and strong and athletic that, like, can he catch John and can he put away John? Can he hurt John? Because John has been caught a few times. Yeah. But not by a heavyweight like Aspinall.
Exactly. That's like the danger game for both sides.
Exactly.
There's real danger for both fighters going into this fight. Yeah.
John can like beat that perfect record because that one loss to Matt Hamill or whatever.
That's not even.
That's not a loss.
That's not. They should overturn it. He should be.
The elbows are legal now.
Yeah, the 12-6s are
legal
fucking.
now. So they just fucking take it away. And
I always thought that rule was stupid.
Yeah,
if you're elbowing me in the head, who gives a shit about the fucking angle of it all?
I think like maybe I don't know if it's like the top of the head. It's obviously the back of the head. You can know. Yeah, it is a pretty stupid rule now.
Yeah, if you're hitting him with if you're trying to kill a man with your elbow, it doesn't matter the angle of it all. Yeah, it hurts either way.
But yeah, I think if John can take him down, it'll be trouble for Aspinall. If it goes past the third round, it's tough for Aspinall.
John's a dog in those third, fourth, fifth.
He just knows how to win, and obviously he's getting a little bit older and shit. But if he fights, that'll be his last fight. I don't know. I'd like to see it. I would like to see Aspinall do it.
Yeah, but also John being the GOAT. I kind of want to see him pull the Khabib,
go off into the sunset,
just roll off and
stroll out of there.
I thought that was funny how Khabib was like, I'm out. Fuck you guys. Like, nope. You're not gonna get another. You're not gonna see me overextended in my career.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he left super young.
Yeah, super early. Yeah.
But I mean, I respect the thing that he did. Like, I'm doing.
No cut. He was never cut.
Yeah, that's nuts. Actually.
Never bled in the UFC. That's insane. Yeah. Which. Tony Ferguson, man. I still think about that fight sometimes.
I'm gonna pick you.
To Verdum, a fucking heavyweight. Fucking Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, I hope that fight happens.
Yeah, me too. All right, we'll tell the people about the fight and fucking we'll get out of here.
So, May 24th, about 2 weeks from now, I'm making my pro debut at the Kezar Pavilion in San Francisco.
Fuck yeah.
It's going to be a good night. Hopefully you guys are all there.
Yes,
or
sir.
Streaming it. You're going to see a good performance from me.